What's up, guys? I'm SaltEMike, and this is your Star Citizen Week in Review for January 8th. 2024, and it is certainly holiday break for them, as there was almost zero communication on their side, but they actually shipped a patch this week which had a new feature, and CIG released their financial reports again. All that and more on today's Week in Review. And as always, if this is your first week in review, this is where I take all of the official Star Citizen news each week, put it into one video, and share some of my opinions about it. I also live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/SaltEMike, every day but Monday, starting at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And I just want to say thank you for you guys coming over from this channel to stop by the Twitch channel. Every week, every day, we're getting more and more of you guys stopping by saying, this is my first stream. So I just wanted to say I appreciate that. Now, we're back. It's been a little while since I've been back, and we got some things to cover. So let's start out with patch notes. So our last week in review was on the 18th, and while I was away, on the 19th of December, they patched the game right before their holiday break, and the goal here was to fix the last few major issues to have a somewhat playable build over the holidays. Now, I heard it was pretty crashy, but it's probably one of the more playable builds we've had over the holidays in a while, and they attempted to fix the insane performance issues at the new derelict settlements, but as far as I'm aware, those still kind of stuck around. And another sort of disappointing one was they fixed the issues where missiles and bombs were just disappearing the moment they were fired. Reason it was disappointing was I was looking forward to seeing what Jumptown was like without an A2, an Eclipse, and other missiles, just to see what general ship combat and ground combat would have been like. And yeah, then on Wednesday, out of nowhere, we had a patch, which was originally meant to fix more Siege of Orison issues, but then we got a major surprise, the Cambio SRT, the dedicated salvage tool. It looks awesome, sounds great, but for now, unfortunately, it's useless for a couple of reasons. First, it's still very slow at hull scraping in comparison to a ship like the Vulture, so it's not like mining where you can kind of go out and mine with a hand tool, find some Hadanite, make some okay money, maybe even find Janolite. You couldn't possibly finish a salvage mission with this tool. Second, I wasn't able to sell the full canisters, which, by the way, are dedicated specifically to this, and it feels like it's a thing that will likely get a couple of updates before we actually know what it's good for. But the first good thing that comes to mind is repairing broken ship components once engineering comes in. You have 3 times the capacity of the multi-tool canisters, so it feels more like an engineer's tool rather than a salvage one. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below on that. But then bug fixes, they got a couple of big ones, but I have not confirmed if they're fixed for sure yet. First, being an issue with the Hull C, as for whatever reason my Hull C isn't on the PTU for me, where you couldn't buy or sell cargo from it. So let me know down in the comments below if that one's working, because that's a big fix. A lot of people were complaining about that. They also fixed a couple of issues around selling from other ships as well. Then the Rambler actually has its roof rack, and the QT fuel tank, that extra QT fuel, is actually functional. And that really does it for this week. Obviously, it was a slow week. I was kind of hoping we would get a patch on Friday, but we didn't. And let's move on to other updates where a lot of the meat from this week's episode is going to be. And like every week, we're going to start out with the sneak peek, and this is clearly the RSI Zeus. It is very much in white box progress, more than I would have ever expected. And the clue here that it was the Zeus, by the way, was the title. I travel through space and time, since the revamp of the old ship thing and, you know, traveling through space and time is the first ship that ever was able to travel through space and time. And then next would be the Luminalia wrap-up. I just wanted to share that the advent calendar is still going, and it ends today. It might actually be over at the time of the upload of this video, so make sure you go ahead and click all the numbers and get the cool rewards if they are still available. I thought the paints were absolutely sick this year. Now, someone else asked on Spectrum, when would they be back? And This Week in Star Citizen is coming back this coming week. Probably will be out by the time this video's up. but it doesn't look like they have a lot to write about because the video content won't be back for a month. I talk about this a lot, but man, the video content is really important for me to keep things interesting, and I really hope they find a way to avoid these really, really long breaks in 2024. But at the same time, I also really prefer game studios that do large updates like once a month instead of once a week. Next would be Jump Point, and it's the behind the scenes of making the Cutter series, and the Rough and Ready gang from Pyro. So you must be a sub to read it, and the post has the link to that if you are. And financials. This was probably one of the bigger bits of news this week, but I don't think there's a whole lot to speak on, as these are 2022 financial statements. It's over a year old, and I'm not sure why we should care unless there was some sort of glaring issue there, and there doesn't appear to be. But first, we are an investor, so I'm not sure we're even obligated to have these be like super sound and perfect like the way that they display them. Second, they continue to spend basically what they're bringing in on development. It was just a $1 million difference there, which basically continues to show what they're spending and that they're spending on the right things and not running away with the money. That's kind of their goal here with this thing is like, look, all the money is being spent on development. Lastly, they gave a hint at 2023 being a very expensive year and that the team grew a lot more. So not much to say there. Financials came out, big deal. I like to focus on the game, and sort of focusing on the game is a Galactopedia update. And starting out with the main article, they share the things that this community knows more than anything, and that is the Stanton system. There isn't a ton to learn here outside of its history, maybe. And the side articles were way more interesting, especially the one about the Xi'an homeworld. Crazy what happened there. Leave it down in the comments if you guys know what happened there by reading that, because it was pretty wild. Now, that's it for this week. Short week. Hopefully we get a little bit more on the table this coming week with patches, updates, things that they're going to be working on. Certainly more on the Cambio SRT tool and kind of see what's going on there. But I just want to wish you guys all a very happy new year. I am so happy to be back and making these videos with you guys. And yeah, leave a like, leave a comment down below. And it's going to be a rough couple weeks here, but hopefully we'll make it work. Stop by the Twitch stream if you guys haven't yet, and make sure you guys check out the new Answer the Call channel, as it will no longer be hosted here on this YouTube channel. It's going to have its own dedicated one, so link down in the description below for that. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll catch you guys next week.